Hello and welcome to JLMTAuto. Today we're going to be looking at buying and building a £5,000 track car that's road legal.
Did you just say £5,000?
Why?
We said 2,000.
Yeah, but I can't. You can't buy a car and put it on a track for £2,000.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. So we're going to be buying and building a £2,000 track car that's road legal, good fun to drive on the road, and actually set some decent lap times. So now we have the budget set, I had a lot of research to do to work out what cars you can actually get for under £2,000, and more importantly, what cars can you get for under £1,500 that allows you to then spend £500 on modifications. Because the whole point is that we're not just buying a car, we're buying a car and modifying it for the track. So really, you want something with modifications already to try and save you a bit of cash, but obviously you don't want something that's been messed with too much. And so looking through AutoTrader, scrolling through loads of different ads on Marketplace and eBay, I came up with a fairly extensive list. There's obviously a lot more, but ones that fit the bill for 1,500 quid that you could actually modify for £500 to make them track ready. And that list is the Audi TT 1.8 turbo, the Mark III Fiesta ST, the Fiat Panda 100 horsepower, the Mini Cooper S, R53 and R56, the BMW 118i, Citroen C2 VTS, the Renault Twingo GT, the Mark IV VW Golf GTI, Mark II Mazda MX-5, Ford Focus ST170, the Alfa Romeo GTV, and finally the Suzuki Swift Sport. That's it. The Peugeot 206 GTI will be the 2k budget track car. I bought it for 1,300 quid. I've got £700 to play with. So here we are with the 206 GTI on the ramp, so we can have a proper good look underneath it. I've already had a sneak peek. We do have the Kony adjustable shocks, which is awesome news. Brand new rear axle, which the stabiliser bars we're going to put on today. Working back, we've also got the sports exhaust that comes all the way back to the front of the car, where we've got sports cat, adjustable shocks on the front, Kony again, team dynamic wheels, along with Michelin Pilot Sport 3s. And we also have Citroen C4 VTR brakes, disc and pads and calipers, along with braided lines. It's also had a remap back in the day. So how relevant that is now, I don't know, but it was running 179 horsepower, which is 4 more horsepower than it came out of the factory with. It's had a recent service and a few other bits and pieces. And the previous owner's done some styling stuff with a splitter and a spoiler, which we need to do a bit of work on. So along with brakes, suspension mods that are already on the car, there's a few extra bits that we may need to do. So driving the car so far, I think it needs a clutch or a flywheel. Apparently the flywheels on this are renowned for getting warped. It's something that I'm going to get a bit of advice from some of the Peugeot forums and see if it's needed or if it's not needed. We've also looked at short shifters and a few other bits, but we'll get into that later in the video, where we talk about what mods we're going to be buying and then fit into the car to make it the ultimate track car. Ultimate budget track car. It's not going to be the ultimate track car, definitely not. I should have probably mentioned before, the reason stabilisers aren't on, because it had the reconditioned rear axle. The previous owner wanted to clean these up and make them look good because it had a nice brand new axle. Completely understand, but for the purpose of this, I don't have £85 for two to put into the car, because I think there's more important mods for that £85 than get some nice shiny new ones of those. And realistically, I can take them off, blast them and repaint them, and it might be something that I do in the future, but for now, focus is on making it a track car, not a concours show car. So that's the stabilisers on. As you can see, they link the rear outer axle to the inner axle. I think it's to stop a bit of lateral play. So they're on. We'll take it for a drive now, and then yeah, get on to modification shopping. There's definitely a slight knock a big knock from the front, which I need to figure out what it is. I suspect it's probably ARBs. So, because the suspension's been done and the brakes have been done, two major things I wanted to do to make it track ready, or improve the handling for the track have been done. Obviously tyres is a big one. It's on 16s, I have got a set of 17s for it, but the 16s are much wider and I think they'd actually do slightly better on track than the 17s. It's on Michelin Pilot Sport 3s, which we need some new ones for the front, so we might get some Pilot Sport 5s and leave the 3s on the back for now. So that could be taken into account for the modifications. There's also short shifter, because this is terrible. Like honestly, every time I change gear, I'm like, is that in? Oh yeah, it is now. So that's not ideal, especially for when you're on a track. You want to be able to just get a snappy gear change. And then intake, more breathing for the engine. It's not needed, but it'll make the car sound cool. So maybe that's an option. But one thing I would quite like is a set of harnesses and a set of bucket seats, because at least then you are fairly safe. Obviously these seats are really comfortable, but they're not particularly safe. You can't have a set of harnesses with them. We want a harness bar in the back, and then if we're putting a harness bar in the back, do we strip the interior? But it's really nice, like it's genuinely been well looked after interior wise. It does, for a 2005 2-litre non-turbo, it does pull. This must have been one of the higher powered little hot hatches back in the day. The torque from the engine is instant, and it goes all the way up to sort of like 7.5 grand. So here we have it, the Peugeot 206 GTI. It's got 82,000 miles on the clock. It's had near enough full service history, some Peugeot specialists, some home servicing as well. And on top of that, it's got a stack of paperwork. I mean, it's bigger than the paperwork I have for my Audi, which is impressive, which means we can sort of trust that the work has been done, hopefully, with the history that's part of the car as well. You never know for sure, but it gives you a good idea. And on top of that, we also have some spares. So we have a set of 4 17-inch original Peugeot 206 GTI rims or alloys with some all right tyres on. And then also 2 decats, because one of them's leaking, but it could be repaired. A coil pack and a few other bits and pieces. The original suspension as well, so it's quite cool. We can actually put the car back to almost standard. But yeah, it's a 2-litre, naturally aspirated, mounted to a 5-speed box. And to be fair, the torque curve is beautiful, goes all the way up. The interior is not bad as well. It's pretty clean for the age of the car, it's 2005. So not too bad, and with the miles as well, a lot of the seats rip on these. This hasn't, which is good. So yeah, overall, not a bad buy. So there we have it, the under 2k cheap budget track car is going to be the 206 GTI 180. It's already got brakes, it's already got suspension, and it's already got some nice chunky wheels and tyres. So I need some help now to decide what mods I'm going to put on this car to make it the ultimate cheap budget track car. I'm thinking strut brace, I'm thinking bucket seats and harnesses. Safety equipment such as a fire extinguisher is always good to have on board. And as I mentioned, the flywheel apparently is warped. Looking on the forums, it looks like quite a common mod. So do I replace it with a lightened flywheel and a new clutch? That's also an option. Do I go for a big cone intake with a separate box for the air, make the noise a little bit louder, and also to give it a little bit more airflow? And then do I put the original decat back on and remove the cat and have the cat as a on-road exhaust and use the decat for when we're on the track? I've got £700 to play with, so drop your comments down below what you think I should be putting on the car, and I'll see you in 2 weeks as I'm away next weekend, and hopefully that'll give me a bit of time, go through your comments, work out what mods I'm buying, and the next video will be fitting the mods and getting the car ready for the track. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram so you can keep up to date with what's happened with the car and us, and look forward to seeing you next time.
I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back.